Hey y'all, this your girl Lisa, and we are here with Real Talk. If you're watching this in the replay, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video, you guys can join us. All right, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? This your girl, and I'm in the house, in the place to be. It didn't come to my messenger, baby. Hey y'all. If y'all want to join us or join me, click the link below. Just trying to give people time. Bitch, I'm active. If he never heard of it, dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping. Keep it on my body, bitch. I'm broke if you asking. Yo, gotta sell the most, y'all is wrong. It's broken versus longer than this foreign. Hurt to want it cause it gains enormous. What's an ass? She is gorgeous. Live my life last name. I'm Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest. Do that or we're knocking on the door. Just came in. Did it like the Porsches coming in. Yeah, flex. I just wanna win. Yeah, LA baby who you running with. Yeah, 2250, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright. Coming in. Yeah, flex. I just wanna win. Yeah, LA baby who you running with. Yeah, 2250, I'm on 10. Yeah. All right, guys. What's up? Let me come on in. Let me start this here, Mike. You are not connected, sir. Hey, y'all. Oh. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Leilani. Lord. Say something else, babe.
No, I turned it off.
Oh, you told her I'm Leilani? Oh, yeah? Yeah. Hey, Shamita. Hey, Italian Queen. Hey, C-Stacks. Hey, y'all. How's we doing, everybody? Say something, Leilani.
Something.
Good answer. Bless you.
Thank you.
Woo! I hope everybody's having a good start today. Now, I am trying to find.
Did you get it?
Nope. Go ahead to the bathroom. Oh, my bad.
Thank you, Auntie.
I hope everybody's having a very, very good Saturday. Hope you've done everything you wanted to do. And if not, you haven't done anything somebody didn't want you to do. So there you go. Hope you've done everything you wanted to do. And if not, you didn't do anything. That's a good option. So, Leilani, how's your evening, weekend, everything going?
Pretty good.
I'm trying to wait. Huh?
Uneventful.
That is okay. What was I trying to say? I was trying to wait for a few more people to get in the room, but you know they'll come. They'll come as I get talking. All right. So let us begin. So when I was presented with this particular topic, I had only one answer. That's nasty. And Babe was like, well, you don't know the situation. I don't care the situation. There's only one way I could feel something different about this situation is if she got pregnant under duress. So we're just going to start with that. So I'm going to read this and let me see because I haven't read it.
Or it's IVF and she's having a child for her daughter.
Yes, now it could be that. Could be that. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about the son-in-law could have been. Oh, it's son-in-law. But is that your son? If you marry somebody, what's it called when you marry somebody? Oh, stepson. Oh, so I'm a little slow. Clearly, y'all don't know how slow I can be at times. All right, so here we go. All right. Okay. So I am a 47-year-old. Hey, Lindsay. Thank you. So I'm a 47-year-old attorney. First of all, why are you getting pregnant at 47? 37 suck. 47 got to be here. Anyway. Who is 7 months pregnant. I have 3 daughters that are grown, married, and have professional careers. My youngest daughter just moved back home with her husband because they are in the process of moving into a new home. One night I was home alone, and my oldest daughter's husband came over to pick up something for his wife. One thing led to another, and we had sex. All right, let me stop it right there. Before I even go any further, let me stop it right there. I'm gonna say one more time. The only thing that can make this story make me have a different attitude going forward is if, as I read, we find out that it was sex under duress. But what she said was one thing happened to led to another, and we had sex, which means it was not under duress, which means at any point before the intercourse happened, you could have said no. Even if you was butt booty naked, you still could have said, you know what? I'm not about to go through with this. You still could have stopped it. So let me read on. Hold on. One thing led to another. Let us go back. Hold on. All right. We repeated our actions several more times.
Oh, that ain't the worst of it.
Close to our final time having sex, the husband of my daughter that's living. Oh, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's living with me accidentally walked into my room and called us. That was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. My daughter and son-in-law weren't supposed to be home. Nevertheless, my son-in-law did not tell his wife, and he said that he didn't tell anyone else. However, he did approach me to discuss the incident. I am shameful of what happened next. Oh.
I mean, I was already there because just the fact that he was able to just accidentally walk. Why would he accidentally walk into his mother-in-law's room? That means he'd be coming in there anyway.
This was all on Facebook, and I still say to this day, beat her mother.
All right, hold on, because what she said was, however, he did approach me to discuss this incident. I am sharing what happened next. I am shameful of what happened next, but I ended up pleasuring him too. A month after the incident, I went to the doctor and found out I was pregnant. I'm not sure which one of my son-in-laws is the father of my unborn child. My husband is already suspicious about my pregnancy because he got fixed about 3 years ago. I don't know.
Wait, she got a husband too?
Yes. I don't know what to do. I don't want to break up my family.
You did that when you slept with the first son. Go ahead and say, Lisa, beat her.
I don't even know what to say. Let me tell you one. I don't know what to say. Not just because of the mom. Because I'm willing to bet. Not a whole lot of money, but like $5. That
Not $5.
Because I'm not a gambler. I'm not a big bettor. So you know what I'm saying. I don't gamble like that. Y'all know how I act on bingo. Shit. So I'm not willing to go more than $5, but I'm willing to bet that as her daughters were growing up, she did this. Because number one, she said she's 47 and she has 3 adult daughters. So she was relatively young when she was having kids. And the reality is a lot of young mothers feel like they're a little more in competition with their daughters than actually trying to teach them something. So I'm almost positive that this is not the first time she is flirted with, rubbed up against, hunched on, kissed, and had sex with somebody that her daughter was dating or talking to. Because this ain't something you just all of a sudden start doing when you're 47. Because by the
Dating
time
is
you're
different
47, but by the time, no, what I'm saying is, by the time you're 47, by the time I was 47, I had made my mistakes. And I still got more mistakes to make, but that's not, because me sleeping with my son-in-law is not a mistake. But I had did all the stuff, you know, I did all the shit you're supposed to do when you're young and you out there and you can handle the consequences of these actions. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I was 47 and I was an adult, I was through playing around with that, you know what I'm saying? Messing with, hell, not your son-in-laws, but messing with somebody else's man. It's too old to be running from folks and ducking and dodging and trying to remember what I called and whose name I said, you know. So this is a learned behavior. This is a practice she had. You don't just all of a sudden up and sleep with your daughter's husband.
Your
That's your
son-in-law.
husband. You sleeping with your daughter's husbands. That's just not something you up and do on a whim one night because he came over there to pick. First of all, that wasn't the husband that was living with them. That was another daughter's husband. So he came over there to pick up something for his wife, and all of a sudden he was the sexiest man in the universe. Hey, Veronica. All of a sudden he was super sexy.
My thing is,
this is not, I'm sorry. This is just, hey, Mama Three. This is just something you done did, boo.
My thing is, the daughter didn't call the husband like, babe, what's taking you
Why
so long
would
to
you?
get home?
Why would you? He wasn't going to the club or to the grocery store. He wasn't going to the club.
She probably just assumed her mama had something that she asked him to do for her.
That's her son.
True.
When we move out and Charles comes to the house and I got something that somebody 6'4" need to move around, guess what? He gonna stick and move around.
That's true.
Brittany can call all she wants. Hell, I call her help. Come on over. Happen. No, I mean you wouldn't think that you're in any danger of your husband doing something inappropriate at your mama house.
That's true.
Your husband not even supposed to do anything. What I just said, your husband not even supposed to do anything inappropriate. He's not supposed to answer the phone when another bitch call. He's not supposed to be kiki and ha-ha with some girl. He's not supposed to be meeting somebody out front of my house. You're not supposed to do anything inappropriate at your mother-in-law's house. They can get you snitched on.
Not one.
Everybody in the chat, I know, maybe it's just me. Because I'm a little, can be extra sometimes, and I know that. So maybe it's just me. So I'm going to ask for a poll. Ladies, you have daughters? No, we're just going with the daughters right now. We're just going with the daughters. Ladies, you have daughters? And your son-in-law comes over to the house and he's doing something inappropriate as it pertains to your child. What do you do?
Correct him.
Clearly, I'm on the phone asking, because I only have one child that would have a husband. So clearly, I'm on the phone asking Brittany who the hell he talking to. She's like, huh? Because he over on his phone laughing and joking. I need to make sure he ain't talking to you. Oh, okay. Let me see who he talking to then. So you're not even supposed to do anything appropriate at my house. and you married to my daughter. Let alone I'm the person you're being inappropriate with. That's nasty. That's nasty. None of that is, all of that is like soap opera 1984, circa 1984. I'm having a baby by my daddy mistress type thing, and it's blowing me. It's blowing me. It's
Not
blowing me.
one son-in-law, but two.
But now you gotta sit up there and have a paternity test like they about to do on Bold and the Beautiful.
And then she
Is
told
it
me that she
Lena
don't want to
versus
break up
Lena?
her family. You should have thought about that before you had sex with the first son-in-law.
Now let me be one of the few people, huh?
You read the part about the husband?
I read all that. Let me tell you.
Lisa trying to filter this so hard.
Now let me be on the wife side. Let me be on the wife side. Let me tell you how. Yeah, because it's the only one thing I had to say about that. You talking about you don't want to break up your happy home, your family. You don't want to blow up 2, 3, 4 marriages. It's a bunch of marriages to blow up with one sentence. I'm pregnant by my son-in-law and I don't know which one. You keep that lie till you die. You keep that lie in hell because that's where you're going.
Ooh.
But you keep that lie in hell. Okay.
But it's gonna come out because her
Here's the thing.
husband can't have.
Now what's gonna come out? You ain't got to tell nobody.
It was the mailman. She ain't got to say it was
the baby daddy.
Mailman,
But
the
her
cable guy.
still
She
gonna
could have
be
made up
over.
anything.
That's fine. That's fine. Her relationship can be over. She's 47. She can start again. I met DC when I was 46. She can get another man. Clearly, she can get somebody because she had her 2 son-in-laws.
And a husband.
Yeah. So clearly, she's not a troll.
Not a troll.
But you keep that lie till you die. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what to do for your
because her daughter's gonna hate her.
Now, even if for the moment that even if you such a hoe that you can't control your coochie around men or women, depending upon, you could be gay. I don't care. You just when I'm saying hoe, I don't mean just dudes, women. I'm talking about men too. If you such a hoe, you can't control your sexual feelings around your family, maybe not by blood, but your family nonetheless, then that's fine. That includes the son-in-laws that had sex with them. However, you can control your mouth and what the hell come out of it. Now your husband got fixed 3 years ago on some grand miracle that he thinks the baby is his. Because if you watch Maury, you know people will think babies that are theirs that they know ain't no way theirs. But that's another show.
But sometimes getting fixed don't work either.
This is true. Like I said. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, he does think it's his. That's fine. But here's my question. What if one of the baby daddies was a different race? What if one of the husbands was a different race? What if this was a white family and one of the daughters was married to a black man?
Like Leilani said, say it's the mailman.
There you go. All I'm saying is, I'm right now for this moment, I'm only on the wife's side to the point is, shut the hell up. Don't sit up there and feel like I gotta tell the truth to me. You trying to make yourself feel better so that you won't be sitting up there marinating in sorrow by yourself for this bullshit you done did. You shut up. Because for your children, clearly you can't control your coochie, but you can control your mouth. So until you die and beyond, the only people know about this is you and this anonymous ass letter you sent out. That's it. You don't tell nobody else. You don't tell the doctor. You don't tell your husband. You don't tell your daughters. You don't tell them nothing. Hell, if the son-in-laws ask, I was pregnant when we was doing it. So they won't sit up there and feel like they need to clear their conscience like this old ass soap opera and somebody got to be standing there so they can hear what's going on behind the door. You know what I'm saying? You take that lie to the grave. Make it so bad, I want you to act like the truth is the lie.
My thing is, if you could have used the condom. I'm just saying, it don't take that long
Let
to
me
put a
tell you what
condom on.
condoms are not. 100%. And when you doing something
That's
nasty
true,
and
but
freaky like that, guess what? Condoms. Did you
but my thing is, she went back. She was already sleeping with one
did
because she
you
said they
feel
did it
any
multiple
good
times.
sense? Did you feel like what I read? The writer had good common sense. Did you feel like the writer really gave a shit?
No, but I'm saying she had already been sleeping with one for a period of time because she said they did it multiple. But then you had the nerve to say you pleasured the other one, so you knew exactly what you was doing.
Oh, it's because she's been pleasuring them. Let me tell you something. Somebody said Leilani was correct. The only person walking here without knocking is Brittany. The boys don't walk in here without knocking. Neither one of the boys that live in this house walk in this room without knocking. Knocking, making some kind of noise, doing something, letting you know I'm about to come in here. How the son-in-law just gonna walk in his mother-in-law's room?
Oh, she said they was in the room.
Protection.
I missed that part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she said he walked in on them.
I
He
Mm-hmm.
thought when
accidentally
I read
walked
it,
in on them. They in her room with the door closed, and he accidentally walked in. That means he normally walks right up
Walk
in
no,
right
I
his
was
in.
having a
in-law's
slow
room.
moment because when I read it on Facebook and she said he walked in, I thought her and the other son-in-law was like maybe in the living room having sex on the
Mm-mm.
kitchen.
I would truly
In
hope
her
if
room.
she's not
Her
damn grown
room.
enough to be in the living room.
Listen, the living room
All
is
that being said, Shamita said, yeah, this lady might as well just come clean at this point. No. Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell
no,
you
not
something.
the real one. The daughter's lives,
No, 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 no.
they gonna be
No.
hurt.
You
Be honest.
marinate in that bullshit you did. You sit there and marinate like a steak in some Worcestershire sauce. You
Look at Lisa's
stay
face.
in that shit till
She's
you
so
die.
good.
You keep that shit to yourself and you shut the hell up. You don't sit up there and tell something because you feel bad and now you want to feel good. Well, stop being a hoe.
But you know that baby gonna come out and look just like his daddy. You know
Yep.
it.
Well,
Just
what he
like
gonna do is gonna come out and look like they kids. And then she gonna sit up there and say, well, you know, my genes are strong. No, your ass is strong. Okay. Nasty heifer. And here's the thing. Baby was like, I ain't gonna read it to you because I don't want you to know. And then when she first said it, for some reason, I'm stupid. Because she said, son-in-law, I don't know why I thought stepson. My head went, I was like, no. But now after I reread it,
Either
let me
way,
tell you, I
stepson.
feel you, Shamita, but let me tell you something. You have a son. If you hurt your son in that matter, you will shut the hell up and not say nothing. Because you know your words can do more damage than what you did. Because see, in the reality is when your kids look at you, even only time your kids don't look at you as superheroes and as wonderful things when they teenagers. Ain't nothing superhero and wonderful about nobody. But when they kids and you're everything to them, and when they're adults and they realize all you have done for them, you hang the moon and the stars. As parents, we hang the moon and the stars for our kids. And if you come to your adult child and tell her, not just one of your adult children, Shamita, two of your three adult daughters, that you have had sex with both of their husbands, imagine how you look at everything that has happened to you in the past when it comes to your mom. Imagine how you're looking at yourself as a woman, as a wife, as a mother. When it comes to your mama, once she tells you she didn't care about you enough to not sleep with her husband.
I'm
With your,
almost sure she slept with the third daughter's husband too.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, they must live out of town or something, because how he gets skipped.
they must live in the mountains and they all related.
No, they
I'm
live
just
right up
saying.
in that
I'm sorry.
cooch where the rest of them live. 'Cause no,
My bad. I'm sorry. I was born in a place where cousins and brothers and sisters get married. Not mine. If you live high enough up in the mountains in Alabama, trust me, there was no branches on the family tree. This was just one long ass log. Everybody with the same last name. Anyway, that being said, back to what I was saying. So I was sitting up there trying.
I just say she need her speed.
Here's the thing. You know what I realized as an adult? I didn't realize as a kid, but I realized as an adult, an ass whooping is not really a punishment. Because once you stop beating their ass for whatever they've done, the punishment is done.
No,
It's
not when
done.
she laying up
It's
inside
done.
the ICU.
It's still done. If she laying up in the ICU, if she sitting over there limping with a broke leg, if she looking in the mirror with a busted ass lip, either way, the punishment is done. And now you feel like you've been punished for what you did. So now you can go do something else, even if it's the exact same thing, because you were punished for that one thing that you did. I was punished. I got caught, and now I got my ass whooped, and the punishment is done. So let me go and see what else I can do. Because there's got to be some kind of weird psychopathy for a person to have sex with the men that sleep with their children.
All three of them.
You understand what I'm saying? Hey y'all, hey Crystal. There has got to be. First of all, if you young enough to be married to my daughter, then you young enough to be my kid, and that's how I'm looking at you anyway. I think maybe maybe after 50, I don't know, hell. Because clearly at 47, you still a hoe. But
most mother-in-laws look at their sons, their daughters' husbands like their sons that they could have birthed.
Right.
Nobody just sleeps with their son-in-law for the fun of it.
Right.
Well, except for this bitch.
One thing led to another. That's what she said. One thing. Let me go to that part. Let me work on that part. Not just let me work on that part. Let me tell you what leads to sex.
Is just
let me tell you what leads to sex. Sex leads to sex. That's what everything people are under this mistaken notion that sex is just the actual intercourse.
Right.
Sex is not the actual intercourse. Sex is all the shit that leads up to the intercourse as well. One thing leads to another meant you were at some point in a close proximity to one another. And then you started touching this person in a way that was conducive as to if you were dating. And maybe some kissing and some rubbing and some licking or whatever floats your boat. That's the one thing that led to another. It's not one thing that leads to it. It's several things that lead to it. And at any point during any of those actions, you could have said, hey, this I've done is enough.
But she said they had been doing it before this time. So
No.
She claimed that was the first time. She claimed that was the first time. No, right after that, she said it happened on multiple.
She said we kept doing it afterwards. They continued afterwards.
Oh,
she said, hold on. She's a lawyer, number one. And her children are all grown and married, and all her kids have professional careers. Her youngest daughter moved back, and I thought that was the one she was talking about first. Then she said the oldest daughter's husband came to the house one night to pick up something for his wife, and one thing led to another. That was the first encounter. The oldest daughter's husband coming to the house to pick up something for his wife. One thing led to another. One thing did not lead to another. Several things led to another. And at any point during that time, you could have stopped this young man.
And y'all could have stopped after the first time.
You could have stopped when you was butt naked and was right there. You could have stopped. It's never one thing that leads to another. It is several things that leads to you having sex with your daughter's husband. Then you get caught. So did the husband see his brother-in-law? How you know you got caught? Did both of y'all get caught? Or did he see the boy leaving out of the room and you in there naked? How did you get caught? Because clearly he wasn't worried about it because y'all kept doing it. So I'm assuming on one of those occasions that they was doing it, the youngest daughter's husband caught him, who was living in the house. So you're having sex. Now here's the thing. You have your youngest daughter and her husband living in your house, and you're having sex with her sister's husband on a regular basis in that same house.
Right, because why wasn't y'all, I mean, not that it make a difference because it's not right, but why wasn't y'all at a hotel? Y'all was just in
Why
the house where
act
your
like they got
daughter and
common
your
sense
husband are.
now? Why act like you got some damn sense? Why act like you got some sense now? You're having sex with your...
I wonder if those
children.
are her husband's
Sons.
daughters too.
Huh?
I wonder if her husband is the father of her daughters.
I don't know. I mean, let me tell you something. I mean, you know what? The reality is, since we don't really know her backstory, the only reason I said what I said was because at 47 and her having 3 adult kids means she was a young mother.
And at
A
47,
lot
she
of
know
times,
better.
when you're a young mother, if she was with the daddy when she was young, let's go on that particular aspect. If she was with the daddy since she was young, then maybe now she is trying to come into her womanhood, her womanness, and she's exploring and doing dumb shit. A lot of times when you marry young and baby up young, when you become older and you realize all the things that you missed, all the growing up you missed doing, because you think being somebody's wife and mama made you grow up. No, that made you be somebody's wife and mama, but you missed a lot of the growing up, the social interactions, the things that young people do as they age. You missed a lot of that. And that includes a lot of young people have a whole period. I had one. But I didn't have no husband. I didn't have no kids. And I had it when I was supposed to have it, when I was young. So now you're 47 and all your kids are grown. And even though your husband's still there, you think all this stuff I missed out on. All the stuff I didn't get to do. But you ain't supposed to do it with your daughter's husbands. That's it. That's it. I don't care if you want to be a hoe. Feel free to hoe up. Have sex with everybody. But the spouses of your relatives or your friends or anybody you know, there are millions of people out there to have sex with. Why do you have sex with people that you're related to and have relationships with? There are millions of women out there. There are millions of men out there. Why must you pick someone that somebody you related to or somebody that's your friend or your homegirl or your homeboy?
Don't sleep with nobody that's
with. What I look like going out to Leilani? What I look like going out to him? What I look like? And we live in different parts of the country. Still, what I look like say hi? What do y'all look like saying that? There's so many people out there you can do it with. You can go to the grocery store, even in COVID, and catch some ass.
Not the grocery store.
You ain't just catching COVID in public. It's ass. This baby still being born for people. I watch more. It's still bitches on there that don't know they baby daddy last name. But clearly COVID ain't stopping everything. There's no part of this scenario in which the mother and the husbands are correct. There's nothing you can say. There's no amount. Even if she, let's say for the sake of argument that I believe that she should tell her daughters that she had sex with their husbands, which I don't. But there is absolutely, positively nothing those 3 people can say that could justify in any estimation what they did. There is not one thing that you could say that would justify you having sex with your mother-in-law or your son-in-law. There's nothing. There's no There's no my husband was abusive. There's no my wife didn't talk to me. There's nothing. There's no amount of justification that you can give to have sex with your mother-in-law or your son-in-law. Nothing.
Hey, surprise.
Do you know how many women and men that get picked up at the club because the person they talking to is telling them this sob story about how bad they spouse or their or significant others treating them? Do you know I used to work, not the bar I worked at now, but I used to work at the enlisted club on a base. Do you know how many stories of misery and sorrow I have heard get out of the mouth of one dude into the drawers of another girl? You know how many? How bad? And you feel some kind of way. Oh, she ain't giving him none. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he ain't never home. Justification. At least you can think, at least you can some kind of way understand why this person has sex with this person, even though they got somebody at home. There's absolutely positively not one word any of those three people could say that would stop the open festering wound that they will give if they tell those girls that they had sex. Think about yourselves as daughters for a minute, not as wives, but as daughters, as kids. And imagine, if you will, your parent telling you something that makes you question your entire existence. Your mama telling you that she had sex with your husband.
I'm sorry, but we're gonna be fighting.
But no, baby, after the fight, and you got a lot of
after the fight, there's no after because there's no more nothing.
But what I'm saying is you got a lot of fighting, you see, Stacks. But I'm not talking about the physical aspects. I'm talking about what it does to you in your quiet moments when your mom ain't there and you thinking about what she said. And you thinking about this man that you made vows with. And you sitting up there trying to figure out how these two people could do that. And then you go back to, what did my mama, if she did it now, did she do it then? And now not only are you questioning you, but you're questioning every relationship and every person that you brought around your mama. That's what I'm saying. All we ever think about when we do stuff is getting it off our chest, telling the truth. We got to be 100% honest because that's what they want. But we don't think about what our words are getting ready to do to these people. Because normally when you're being brutally honest, you're being brutally honest to somebody you say you love and you care about. Brutal honesty to a stranger, even to a homeboy, to a coworker, or to a boss means nothing. Because you just some person that's a part of their outside life. Outside, not nothing to do with their family life. But 100% brutal honesty. Imagine the conversation that comes behind whatever the kids' names are. You talk to them. I got something I got to tell y'all. Imagine the conversation. What you gonna say? Are you just gonna lay it out on the line? You just gonna flick it out there like a spade? When y'all playing spades? Fuck your husband.
Lisa, I'm not doing this with you.
Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. I'm thinking about
it. If they don't put it out there like that, they're gonna lie. Like I accidentally had sex. There's no such thing as accidentally.
Are you just gonna slap that shit on the table like an ace on top of a bitch king? Fuck your husband.
You gonna say a whole bunch of times?
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I wouldn't say like that, but I wouldn't say I accidentally either. I'd be like,
Are you gonna come out there and you gonna say, because this is how all of them start. This is how all of them start. I want you to think about how every TV and how every boy or girl that done broke up with your ass, this is how it starts. You know how much I love you, right? So you're going to start with that. And you're going to tell your daughter that, you know, and this is how it's going to go with somebody. This is just one scenario. You know that time that Kevin came over to the house, you know he had to pick up shoes that you wanted to wear. You know the shoes that you like I let you wear? Yeah. Well, okay. See, your daddy, now he hasn't been we haven't been sexual in so long. I think he cheating on me. And well, you know, I was talking to Kevin and he was listening. And see, that's how one of them goes. So that's one of the scenarios. That's how they tell it. You know what I'm saying? They got all this stuff to go before they get to the meat. They got all. You ever had a sandwich? That bitch was thick as hell, but it was like one piece of bologna on there. Yeah. That I had sex with your husband is the one piece of bologna. All the rest of that shit is all other stuff they said about dad and I having sex and he cheating on me and Kevin is a nice man and you know how much I love you. That's how one of the scenarios are gonna go. That's one of them. The other one is the spades. I got some of everything now. Smack that shit like an ace on a king, baby. You thought you won. No. I fucked your husband. I don't know. Is that better? You snatch the Band-Aid off? Or do you go around the world and make that meatless sandwich? Which one? Which one we do? Or do we blame it on Kevin and Steve? Because I can't think of no other names. If your name is Kevin and Steve in the chat, I'm very sorry. I am not talking about you. Them only two names that popped in my head right then. So do we blame it on Kevin and Steve? Do we blame it on them? How Kevin came in and he didn't really want the shoes. And you know how weak I am. You know how you know I'm a nymphomaniac. So all of a sudden you got a disease now. So we're gonna blame it on Kevin because Kevin pushed up on you. And then you gotta blame it on Steve because Steve caught you and now he blackmailing you to get some ass. So now we're blaming Kevin and Steve alone. You didn't have nothing to do with it. But do you know what the end result from all of these scenarios is? You irrevocably breaking your daughter's heart. There's therapy, there's Dr. Phil, hell, there's paternity court and more. And they put nice, pretty bandages on there and they send them home and they say, we have counseling and resources for you and you can call us anytime and I'll be there for you. But the reality is when your mother or your father, because it's a lot of women in the chat. It's dudes in the chat too, that's what I mean. I'm sorry. Your mother or your father had sex with your spouse. And even though that is the one act they committed, that one act will now call into question your entire existence. Every time a parent lets you down for any reason, any trivial reason, you'll equate it with that. What did I do? And just like men and women all over the world, when they are cheated on, the first thing they think is, what did I do for them to do that to me? Now imagine, if you will, anybody in the chat that's been cheated on, imagine if you think that way about your spouse, a significant other, how much it will hurt if you also have to think that way about the person that they did it with. Your husband cheated on you with your mom. So if your husband didn't feel any better about you, your mom should have. And now the one person in the world who's supposed to love you regardless, come on now. That is some shit you take to the grave, to the dead, to the next life. And the next life, I don't give a shit if you reincarnated 300 times. That is a lie that you take all 300 times. She's pregnant by her son-in-law. She doesn't know which son-in-law. And she doesn't want to explode her family by telling her daughters, well, then you don't. I don't give a shit about how much you want to feel better, how much to get off your chest to get, what's the word I'm looking for, Leilani? What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Forgiveness. My bad. I got stuck. Couldn't think of what it was. I don't give a shit about your forgiveness and your need for it. I don't care about how people, what does that people say? Forgive and forget, or closure, or what's the word? What am I looking for? It'll make you feel better if you forgive somebody. But my question is, even if you are a well-rounded, well-adapted person, do you really forgive? Can you really forgive your mom or your dad?
I think that's a situation where you just take it and you throw yourself down the stairs. That's what you do.
You can't watch no more soap operas.
Throw yourself down the stairs.
This is not 1974.
Make it go away. Make it go away. It didn't happen.
When they were throwing themselves down the stairs. That shit don't even work no more. Let me tell you something. I didn't even know I was pregnant with Nick at the time. I fell hard enough to break my whole tailbone. The bone to see ass, I broke that. That's how hard I fell. And guess what Nick was? Up there hanging on. Stress me when I tell you. You ain't gonna do nothing but fall down the stairs. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna be in a coma and wake up 9 months later. You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna be in a coma, wake up 9 months later with amnesia, and don't even know how you got the baby. Maybe that's a good thing. Yes, throw your dumb ass down the stairs so you can get some amnesia and wake up from the coma 9 months later after your baby here. You can be like, I don't even know who the hell that is.
Yep, there you go. And then you can say somebody in the hospital must have done something to me.
Yep. That's what happened. But no, her husband already knows she's pregnant. Let me tell you something. If that baby don't come out looking like her, these are one of the few times in the world that you don't want shit of the daddy on the baby. Not an ear, not an eyebrow, not a toenail. And you know how they love to talk about their ding-dings be little. I'm like, well, guess what, dude? You the one had sex with him. So clearly you like him a little. So there you go. But here's the thing. Come on, Nick. Look, you mean.
There we go.
Hold on, I'm crazier than Tasmanian devil. So to my knowledge, I haven't been cheated on that I know of these past 40 years. But Lord, please help the man that I do find out cheated on me. Baby, why is you gonna go back to somebody and get them because they cheated on you long? What kind of crazy shit if you with them? Not you a whole stalker. Anybody about to go backwards? What I look like going back being mad with somebody that cheated on me 20 years ago? Shit, I should have been. I didn't catch them then.
Hey, you can't be going to track down exes to find out if they cheated so you can fight them. You gotta leave that alone.
I mean, how do you go about that? What do you say to that person? Now, he cheated on you in high school, 12th grade. Okay. You are now, what she said, how many years? Wait at 46. Now, 46 years later, you will see him, you see him at the reunion. And he said, you know I cheated on you back in the day. Okay. And your name is? I'm like, and your name is?
You telling me because what?
Oh, yeah. See, that's not nice. Rico.
What's going on, fam?
All right, now we
What's
got
going
Rico.
on,
We gotta do this. What's up? Gotta do. Now, Rico. Here's the scenario.
What did I do?
Not a shitting ass thing. But hold on.
We don't know.
Here's the scenario, Rico. You ready? You ready? So you got to answer truthfully,
Right.
and don't get no YouTube answer. I mean, for real Rico answer. You ready? Because there are YouTube answers, and they're real. You know what I'm saying? All right, so Rico, you have 2 siblings, and you're married, and you find out that your father slept with your wife. And see, in that scenario, your wife would have to be knocked up. So we're gonna go with that because it's got to be a baby in the mix somewhere. So you want to? Now here's the thing. Here's my question. The lady says she don't want to blow up her family, but I'm assuming she want to tell. In that scenario, would you be happy knowing that your father slept with your wife? Let's forget the baby for the moment. Would you rather not know that? Or would you rather I want to know that?
I don't think
now your wife pregnant. And it could come out looking like both of them, that's your daddy. So she can keep that lie alive forever.
Okay, my honest opinion.
Yeah, I'm for real.
If it had been for real, much as I love my dad, I would have kicked his ass.
No, not the kick. No. What I'm asking you, the answer to the question is, would you have rather not known?
Yeah, I don't think I want to know that.
That was the question. Would you want to know or not want to know? Because my thing is this: truth is cool and all, but it depends upon what you do with it. Because the truth can be used as a weapon just as much as a lie. Because a lie is a lie. If you did something so bad and so horrendous, at some point it may or may not come out, but you can use the truth as a weapon. Because a lie, if you ain't do what here's the thing about a lie. If what you're saying is not true, that means that whatever you're saying you didn't do, that means you ain't do it. So in reality, you ain't did nothing to make yourself look some kind of way because you're stupid enough to lie. But here comes the truth. Here come your daddy telling you that I slept with your wife. I just thought you should know. I had to get that off my chest. I want you to forgive me. Because they're not telling you. They're not telling you so to make you feel better. Ain't nobody telling you no truth like that. Your wife, let me ask you a question, Rico. You ever had somebody cheat on you?
Yes, I did.
Now, did she tell you or did she get caught?
She got caught.
Okay. So how did it feel?
Bad. Very terrible.
Now, do you think you would have felt better if she came out and said, I cheated on you instead of getting caught? Or do you
I'd rather fortunate. I'd rather fortunate had at least had told me. So I won't.
Now imagine y'all having an argument. Because here's where the truth becomes a weapon. Imagine y'all having an argument. And you said you had a son, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is what I mean. The truth becomes a weapon. She done cheated. Y'all got a son. Now she tells you that I cheated. I did this, and the third, and the baby ain't yours. or it might not be yours. Or I'm mad with you, so now I'm telling you how I had sex with this, and the third. You understand what I'm saying? The truth is a weapon.
Right.
That's what I mean. So that's why I was just using you as an example. Not that that's what happened. But okay. This is 2021, and since this is a mama, and mama's boys are different. You see what I'm saying? Because this mama did it to her daughters. Were you close to your mom? Are you close to your? Were you close to your mom?
Yes. Yes.
Can you imagine your mama sleeping with your girlfriend and your wife? No, I'm just saying. I don't mean she gay. I'm just saying.
Vice versa is bad.
No, because it's somebody you close with. All she got is girls. Are you an only child, Rico? You just got brothers?
Well, I'm the only child on my mom's side, but I do got brothers and sisters on my
Okay, so
dad's
you the
side.
only child for your mom. Okay, that's why I'm using the mom. Because see, she has 3 girls, so she ain't got no boys in the mix. So she had to be close to them. Well, not necessarily close, but them the only kids she ain't got no boys to treat differently, for lack of a better term. And it's mama's little boy, and daddy's little girl. That's just how it is. Imagine, if you will, your mama sleeping with your wife or your girlfriend. Ponder away.
Now I got okay. Let's can we back up just a little bit up? Now I wouldn't mind if it had been a different woman, then I'd be fine with it. Cause I just feel like I'm a lesbian, so I'm just gonna be straightforward about it. But if it had been my mom, I would try to forgive her. Huh?
We ain't talking about just cheating. That's just cheating. Having sex with anybody else, whether it's gay or straight, that's just cheating. If your girlfriend has sex with another girl, she's still cheating on you. It don't matter. Don't matter.
It's still cheating. Yeah.
She's still cheating on you. So, an Italian queen, the baby got sick, and the only person that can help is the person you slept with. Again, this is not old soap operas. The only reason that happens is because on soap opera, the only way you could do it is it had to be your daddy's blood. That ain't real.
You needed daddy's bone marrow.
Daddy's something. It always was the daddy. Couldn't take mine. Eat your daddy. No, that's because you know that ain't his daddy. That's why. But yeah. Well, I mean, think about it, y'all. But you see, you weren't here earlier when I said this. It's one thing for your spouse or significant other to cheat on you. It's another thing for the person who's supposed to love you the most, regardless, disregards all of that and has sex with somebody you love. And I said the reason that she should not tell anybody who the baby daddies might be. It's fine. You cheated on your husband, fine. But sleeping with the son-in-laws, she should take that shit to the grave. Because now, imagine if you find out that your mom slept with your wife. So now you got to think about all the girls you never dated, all the girls you ever brought around your mama, and you got to think, if my mama didn't care enough about me not to sleep with my girlfriend, what does that mean for me? Your entire existence as it is. Imagine, think about it. You find something out about your parents, even as an adult, you question your entire upbringing because this is the person that kept this from you that whole time. And if you think about it, just because your mama got caught, your mama didn't start sleeping with the husbands now. She been messing around with the people a long time. That ain't just something you fall into. At 47, that ain't just something you fall into, having sex with relative spouses. That's not something. And it's not even she didn't have sex with boyfriends. She has sex with husbands. So that's why I said, how would you feel if you found out your mama slept with your wife? Your mama, your ride or die, your road dog.
I would just leave. I won't say nothing. I would just leave.
Rico,
Because
this
I
nigga,
know the type of person I am.
do you think it I'd be able to forgive
It's
you?
hard to it's really hard to really answer that.
But see,
Okay, but so you leave. Then what? You just leave. You
I
gonna
want
leave the whole country? Where you leaving to? Because it's still your mama and it's still your wife. Like,
I won't never speak to them. I would just leave.
see, that's the brain thing.
I
That's the
fall off the face of the earth.
yeah, but you can't leave your brain. That's the only problem.
I'm not gonna leave my brain, but I won't
You
never
can't. That's
want to
what I'm
speak to
saying.
my mom
You can't leave
or
your
my
brain.
wife.
You can't leave your brain. And I know what having a parent makes you doubt yourself. I know how it feels, not to that extent, but I know how you can sometimes doubt yourself because of something your parents say. Now imagine that scenario. You got to take that shit home in your brain. You got to take that shit with you. You can run away to wherever you want to run away to. And I mean, how do you look at relationships going forward? See, that's nothing. I think of all that stuff. I don't just think of you sitting up there getting that minute of pleasure. Oh, I done took this secret off my chest and it's off my shoulders and I ain't got to carry it no more. But now I have thrown my daughters away. And even with the daughter that you didn't sleep with, imagine how she feels. This is not something that you can just go, well, I did it, and well, I did it, and you can tell your husband that. Now she can tell her husband that. But how could you tell your daughters that?
Well, that's kind of crazy.
You see what I mean? How do you tell your sons that? How do you reconcile that with yourself? How do you look in your mirror? That is your punishment. That is your punishment for having sex with your daughter's spouses. You must now marinate in this juice that you have made. You could effectively destroy the lives of your children and your grandchildren. Grandmama has sex with daddy. Because you know once you let the secret out, you know once you tell your daughters, it is not going to stay with them. You know she cussing her husband out. And you know kids hear that shit, especially when you mad and don't care. Or at the family reunion. Or at the next family dinner you have. And your kids hear that. And your daughter or your son comes and asks you, Mama, why did you say that about grandma? What did daddy do? We get caught up in this truth shit, especially when we did something fucked up. Especially when we have done something that we know was beyond egregious. That was beyond despicable. And any other word you can think of, deplorable. Any of the words we use with Trump, you can attach to this. When we know it is beyond that. Jay Dunn said, for me, I'm slightly vindictive. If my wife slept with my mama, I would probably try to get her back and sleep with one of her relatives, and then I would dare her to be mad about it. Yeah, but revenge ain't the same. You doing it out of revenge, which is cool, but did it help you? Okay, Jay Dunn brought up a good thing. Jay Dunn, get on the panel. Jay Dunn, get on the panel. Jay Dunn brought up a good thing. So now, your parent has slept with your significant other, your spouse. How do you get them back? Do you get your spouse back? Can't get your mother back. Can't get your daddy back. So now you got to go have sex with one of their family members. Because that's the only thing that's going. I mean, you can't go just have sex with somebody random. That ain't gonna do. You gotta go have sex with their family member. Leilani? I mean, do it really work? I mean, okay. I'm gonna ask this. I'm gonna start with this. So, your girlfriend cheated, or wife, or your significant other cheated. Rico, did you feel the need to get back? Did you cheat because she cheated, or I don't know if it was considered cheating after that because maybe y'all weren't together no more. But would you have cheated with somebody on her to get back at her?
No.
Have you?
Because no.
Jay Dunn.
Hey to everybody.
Speak on it.
I didn't even want to click on this link because I know y'all ain't got time for my shenanigans up in this conversation because I'm just telling you the truth how I do it. But I know that other adults wouldn't handle stuff like this the way that I would.
Well, now what I'm saying is every opinion is needed because it's a lot of opinions. My opinion is not the only one. It might not even be the right one. It's just mine.
Mm-hmm.
To me, personally, I'm not going to tell my children that I slept with their husbands.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't just affect my daughters. It affects my grandkids. Right. It affects the rest of the family. It calls, before you came, like I said, it calls into question your children's entire upbringing by you, because at this juncture in your life, 47 years old, an attorney, professional, you decide that at this juncture in your life, you're going to have sex with not one, but two of your children's spouses, and you're now pregnant by one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's some shit you take to the grave. Don't come up here saying I need forgiveness and my kids need to know. No, you need for them to know. They don't need to know. Who the hell need to know that?
Well, I mean, I could agree with that to a certain degree, Lisa, but when it comes to babies and stuff and that being involved, I know people who have had kind of messed up lives because they didn't know who their actual parent was.
I get that too, baby. But hear me when I tell you, imagine, if you will, what you just said. The person, your mama is having a baby by your husband, which you already have kids by. So now your child is an aunt enemies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Sorry, I missed the first part of the live, so that's why I was just.
Oh, well, here it goes. No problem. I'm sorry. You're right. I probably should have read it again at some point so that somebody not coming in would understand. So here is what I read, and here's where my indignation began. I am a 47-year-old attorney who is 7 months pregnant. That's how I started. I have 3 daughters that are grown, married, and have professional careers. Now I'm at 47. She has 3 adult children. She had them when she was kind of young. My youngest daughter just moved back home with her husband because they're in the process of moving into a new home. One night I was home and my oldest daughter's husband came over to pick up something for his wife. One thing led to another, and we had sex. We repeated our actions several more times. Close to our final time having sex, oh, they was doing it a lot that night. This was one time. I didn't read it correctly. So close to our final time having sex, so they did it more than one that night.
Mm-hmm.
The husband of my daughter that's living with me accidentally walked into my room and called us. How did he accidentally walk in your room?
But wait, she said close to our final time. So after he called him, he left, and then they did it again.
Nasty hoe. I should have read this better. Anyway, accidentally walked into my room and called us. This was the most embarrassing moment of my life. My daughter and son-in-law weren't supposed to be home. Nevertheless, he did approach me to discuss the incident. I am shameful of what happened next, but I ended up pleasuring him too. A month after the incident, I went to the doctor and found out I was pregnant. I am not sure which one of my son-in-laws is the father of my unborn child. My husband is already suspicious about my pregnancy because he got fixed 3 years ago. I don't know what to do. I don't want to break up my family. That is the letter that caused my indignation. I'm done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the letter. So nobody, I guess because I did a lot of stuff older, I have a tendency to think over what a lot of other people think about. Because like when I was pregnant with Nick, I didn't think about what a baby was gonna be. I skipped all the way over to some girl breaking his heart in high school. You know what I'm saying? Or I didn't want him to be fat because I didn't want him to be bullied. And you know what I'm saying? So I had overthunk it. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that my daughter-in-law, because women don't do, is so fine, but I can't knock her up. So I guess that ain't the same. But anyway, so let's just say, for the sake of argument, that the spouse is just so irresistible that I cannot stop myself. I would be thinking about, what if I did say to my child, I did this? What are the implications moving forward past when I say, if I did this? Because I want to feel better about myself. You know, very few people ask for forgiveness or apologize because they want to feel better about what they did to you. Y'all know that, right? Let's get that perfectly clear. When somebody apologizes, even if it's sincere, or asks for forgiveness, it's not for you. It is for them. It is for them to feel better about themselves. It is for them to have justification in what they did. It is for them to go on and be able to do something else, maybe not as fucked up, but close. Ain't nobody ask you for forgiveness or apologize because they feel so devastated about what they did. Because guess what? At any moment, you could have not did what you did before it happened. You could have nipped it in the bud before it came a thing. You could have said, I'm not going to have sex with this person. I'm not going to steal from this person. I'm not going to hurt this person in this manner before it was done, so you do not have to apologize. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on, somebody, I can't. Somebody right there. Who's that? Hey, baby, look at the thing. I can't see who's at the bottom. Okay, so you do not have to apologize. Turn, yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So the mother, I don't want to blow up my family unless the husbands come out and say something, which they could. I doubt it, but they could. What is telling them going to do? What is telling your daughter that you have sex with their husband? What does that accomplish? I got 2 new people. Jay Dunn,
Well, I don't think that it accomplishes anything to tell your daughters about it. But I'm just thinking from the long haul, eventually that cat gonna have to come out the bag because you have to know, like, just listening to this, even though like I have an ex who's she grew up thinking that her father was her actual father and he wasn't, and that this man that her mother had her growing up thinking was her uncle was actually her father. And it was a whole big ordeal once he got older, as a teenager and a young adult, to where she needed to know about who her actual her DNA, her makeup and things. And that was the craziest thing, me being her partner at that time. And she finally being revealed to her, her mama finally told her that, hey, Uncle so-and-so is actually your daddy.
Okay, that's a good one. I got a question. Why did she finally reveal it?
Well, at that particular point, my ex, I feel like there was some issue as far as, I know that growing up, my ex felt like she was treated like the black sheep with her family. Mm-hmm. I know that in her family, colorism was really strong, which is why I hate that in the black community. Right. Because she was actually a darker complexion than all of her other siblings, all because of this lie. So she always felt like her mother treated her differently than her other siblings because in the back of the mind, her mother knew that she wasn't biologically totally siblings with them, but that she happened to have been born whenever her mom creeped out on the daddy.
See, that's a mama thing. That's not her thing. You don't see, that's fucked up parenting. That ain't got nothing to do with knowing who the real daddy is. That's messed up.
My thing is though, but if you keep something like that under wraps, how do we know that if this mother that you are speaking of, who is 7 months pregnant with the child, if she don't say nothing to anybody, you don't think that she might do some fucked up parenting to that child once it's born because she don't know who the daddy is?
No, well, all I'm saying is this: when you come to a point, when you have kids,
mm-hmm.
and you have messed up something, you do whatever you can to unmess it.
Right.
At the end of the day, this is not 1974, and medicine is advanced. You ain't got to know who the daddy is.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that lie alive, because at the end of the day, how are you going to tell? My thing is this: forget my kids. I know how I feel about my grandpuppy. Imagine me having to explain to my grandchildren why this is your brother and your uncle.
Right.
Imagine me having to explain to my grandkids why I had sex with their dad.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine me having to explain to my grandkids why I had sex with their uncle, because they consider the brother-in-law, the son-in-law, or the brother-in-law, or whatever it is, their uncle. So now you have to explain to children, even adult children, that not only did I not care about your mama, I didn't care about you. Because that's the only thing a person is going to feel. They're not going to feel the sex. They're not going to feel that. All they're going to feel is the emotion of why wasn't I good enough as a child, as somebody you love, for you not to do this to me.
Right.
That's all they're going to feel. That is it. They're gonna ponder in their mind, and they're gonna roll around. It's just like when women ask, well, who you did it with and where you do it at. But at the end of the day, the emotion that is attached to that is, why wasn't I enough for you not to hurt me in this manner? And imagine if the person who did that is your mom.
Mm-hmm.
As a mama, You take that shit to the grave. Let me tell you something. It is people right out here right now, my age and older, running around thinking that man that your mama married to is your dad. And your mama will go to her grave and her next grave with that lie.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, your kids are more important than your situation that you put yourself in.
Right. No, that makes sense, Lisa. I mean, it makes sense.
Now, as far as you being vindictive, who you gonna have sex with? That's gonna
Well,
piss you off.
if she got a sister, whoever. Like, this my thing. I'm like, okay, you did this mess to me. Now, see, I already know how I am. So first off, if my wife did that to me, first off, she'll have to hear about it every day for the rest of her life.
Okay.
Like, I ain't forgiving it, and I'm gonna remind you about it.
Right.
And if I decide that I want to holler at your sister, I just might do it. Hey, I might even just holler at the girl down the street. And I dare you to say that I'm hollering at her, no, because of what you did. And then for
her? Why would you say her?
Well, that's the thing. Y'all were talking about people that was married. If I'm not married to the person, then no, I could just leave.
Right.
But like I hear that
you married to him. Why
you
you
got married to somebody? I heard that divorce is like a whole bunch of stuff that you gotta go through.
Let me tell you where you ain't gotta live at. Let me tell you where you ain't gotta live at for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Divorce is nothing. If it's two people that don't want to be married no more, you go down there and you file the papers and you sign them. If y'all ain't got no kids, y'all ain't got no money, y'all ain't got nothing, and y'all ain't mad with each other, if people make it be more than it is, I want this amount of money from this bitch. I want this amount of money. You make it more than it is. People get divorced every day.
Okay.
So
yeah, because I just always hearing people talk about how difficult it is. Like, I even have people up in my actual family who stayed married even though they both lived apart, had different spouses and all that.
Because when you hang on to a spouse that you ain't living with, and you ain't got getting a divorce and not getting a divorce is an excuse. Because there's all you gotta do is, you in Atlanta, right? All you gotta do is ride down the freeway. I bet you look up, one of them signs say divorce turned to 250.
Yeah.
So no, you hang on. A lot of people hang on because they're comfortable in a situation. A lot of people hang on because of the comfortability. A lot of people hang on because they don't want nobody else to have them. And if you don't, even they don't want them, they don't want nobody else to have them. And if you want to get into a divorce, then, you make it hard for the other person. If two people really don't want to be together no more, baby, they will walk hand in hand into the judge's office. Can you sign this? If you really don't want to be with somebody no more, even if, you know what I'm saying, you can get it done. So them is excuses. That's not reality. This is 2021. That's
okay. Gotcha.
So, wow. Okay. So here's my question. Another question. Because Jay, you're in the younger aspect of the situation, and I'm coming to you, Raylo. Get ready. Sit over there, marinate. Get all these questions together. Now, you're going to be vindictive and cheat with a relative of your wife, but who you matter at, your mama or your wife? Because in this issue, in this situation, we always got somebody we matter at. We always got somebody who tips the scale. So yeah, you pay back your wife, but that's not your mom. She ain't gotta love you. Your wife ain't gotta love you. People get married for a whole lot of reasons, and not all of them love. But your mom.
And so and that's the thing. I would be more upset with my mama about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So having sex with somebody to get back at your wife, that's some chick that you met and fell in love with. I'm not trying to be funny and not trying to discount your love. Not, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, a wife or a spouse is somebody you met and fell in love with. That's not your mama. That's not your brother. That's not your daddy. That's not even your cousins or your uncle.
Right.
Your mama, come on, man. Now I'm not gonna say I went through hands at my mama, but see, I know what it feels like to question how your mama feels about you.
Mm-hmm.
And when your mama tells you she had sex with your spouse, she tells you how she feels about you. It's one thing in your head questioning because of the actions that your parent has done. It's another thing to have your parent come tell you that they've done something so horrific that you
But,
now
but
know how much they don't care about you. Now
well,
that
no, that's true, and that's a hard pill to swallow. And like, even I probably would not let my mother live it down. I would always remind her about that. And hell, I might take her through hell just being her child, just because. Yeah, I'm in jail today. Come get me.
all right, let me get over here on very low. Let me maybe I can't. Hold on, I think I can. Hold on. Ray Low.
Hey, what's going on?
All right, Ray Low. How old are you?
I'll be about 50, be 60 in
All
June.
right, you a little bit older than everybody. All right. So Ray Low.
Yeah, go ahead.
Low. You been married before?
No, I haven't.
You got any kids?
Yeah, I have one daughter.
All right, there we go. Well, you got a daughter. Okay.
I have stepsons too, so
Okay, there we go. We're gonna use one of them.
Mhm.
All right, Ray Low. No, we're not gonna use them. You got any brothers and sisters?
Yes, I do. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother.
All right. So you and your brother got a wife. We're gonna use a wife with your girlfriend. We can use a girlfriend.
Mm.
You bring your girlfriend home and bring your wife home, and everything is copacetic, and your family is family, and then all of a sudden you find out your daddy has sex with your wife.
Mm.
And your wife may or may not be pregnant by you at the time.
Mm.
But the only other person she could be pregnant by is your dad. Go.
Well, that'd be kind of pretty shocking, if I hear something like that. I don't know, how would I react? I wouldn't know.
Now here's the question: would you want to know that?
Oh.
Would you? I mean, realistically, I understand the whole honesty thing. I understand 100% honesty. I get all that. I get all the buzzwords and I get all the narrative. But my question is, realistically, if you kept it real, 100 with Ray Low, would you want to know that your dad slept with your wife?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I do.
Why?
Because, I mean, I want to know who child. Well, okay, if she have a child, is my wife and they have a
All right,
child.
let's keep the kid out of it. I mean, let me tell you, the kid's changing.
Okay, all right, we'll skip the
The
kid.
kid's changing. Kid's
Yeah, I
changing.
would like to know, because I want to know if she's faithful to me. If she's going with my father, then what?
That's the difference. Your dad ain't got nothing to do with her being faithful.
Oh, sorry, I must have misunderstood.
No, your dad don't have anything to do with her being faithful. I said your dad has sex with your wife, not your wife has sex with somebody. Your dad.
I know he said my father. Yeah, that's what I said.
So you feel mad at your wife and your dad?
Probably, pretty much both. Yeah. Yeah, I would feel. Yeah, probably both, because they been dishonored with me. Yeah, I would be. Because they wasn't honest with me. I mean, if that was the case, then why would I be with them? I mean, they could go ahead back together, and I can start on my life. Keep going what I got to do. It's more and get a divorce and keep on moving on. It's not even worth fighting over it. As I got older, if that's to be, then let them be. Then I'll just move on with my life.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's how life is.
Right.
I'm not gonna go.
Real quick. I just been listening to you talk to Raylo, and me and him kind of are on the same page. I think ultimately everybody has the right to choose. And when you withhold that type of information, regardless of the fact, you are not giving the other party the right to choose their situation, to choose their circumstance, to choose. And I think that's the bottom line of it for me. You have the right to know so that you can choose if that's something that you care to deal with or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Like I said, the
only reason I don't look at it like that, so maybe you understand. The only reason I don't look at it like that is because I don't see them as people that you have sex.
No.
I see them as you doing something to your kids. And I see the ramifications beyond your children. Because when you keep it in the family in that manner, it's just not, it calls into question everything. But it calls into question of the kids. I don't know if you've questioned how your parent felt about you.
Oh, you mean to be acceptable to it?
Maybe because I have that in my repertoire, that I feel that way. That could be right. I would say that.
Oh, okay.
Because I have that in my repertoire, I feel that way. That I understand what it feels like for a parent not to be 100 behind you. Not 100, but I know how it feels to be a little adversarial with a parent. You know what I'm saying? Because me and my mom weren't raised like mother and daughter. We were raised like siblings, and you know, siblings can be kind of adversarial. So I know how it feels when stuff is called into question, when you call yourself into question because of the people that had you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't think you should blow up your children and everything with that particular knowledge. Because I don't think you're getting away with anything if you don't tell. This great secret is actually a burden on your shoulders, on your chest. You know what I'm saying? This is not something that you just can wipe off like you stole a pack of cigarettes from Walmart. This is not just I did this and I got away with it. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying, Asia. I get all that. I get that. But still.
So you say something more? I mean, if you find out, then were you talk about somebody to accept that or to do what they want to do?
I mean, have you ever? I don't know. Has a parent or a parental figure, not even a parental figure, a teacher, or somebody you looked up to, have they ever made you question yourself because of something they said to you or how they treated you?
No, I guess I have in the past, but no.
But I mean, you know, because I can't see her just all of a sudden at 47 deciding to sleep with her. I'm thinking this is a pattern. This don't seem like something you just do. You know what I'm saying?
Lisa, if I can cut in one more time, when did it? Like, is this an article that you're reading? Somebody like wrote this, or
it's a letter somebody sent. It's a real thing.
Oh, so some okay. No, I believe it's real. But even right now, with us living in this pandemic, heck yes, you should be honest about it if you're carrying a baby, because you don't know what's going to happen with this pandemic that we're living in.
That's true. Have a point there.
I mean, I see all that, but I see beyond this baby. Everybody's looking at this baby in this moment, in this one situation, but this ain't one situation. You know, you getting pregnant at 47 randomly by some dude you cheated on your husband, that's one situation. You getting pregnant by your son-in-law after you had sex with 2 of them out of your 3 daughters is an entirely different thing. So that's why I'm not looking at just the one. I'm pregnant by somebody other than my husband because she has a husband. So there's that situation. But I'm pregnant by my daughter's husband.
Yeah, that'd be something for the Maury show.
That'd be something for Jerry.
Jerry too, yep.
I'm pregnant by my daughter's husband. What am I going to do?
That sounds like more like a Jerry Springer thing.
I'm pregnant by my daughter's husband. What is we gonna do?
I agree.
And I don't know which one.
Well,
and I've had sex with him multiple times.
Bring the whole family and let them fight it out.
But my only thing is, this letter is out of context. Somebody said something about context. And it is out of context because I don't see somebody all of a sudden at 47 deciding that you have absolutely positively no moral compass to the point to where you would have sex with not one but two of your two of your son-in-laws. So I would like for her to put a little more context to maybe I've been attracted to younger men my whole life, or I slept with my husband's my daughter's boyfriend before. You see what I'm saying? It's hard for me to believe that at 47 somebody decided to throw away everything they were to sleep with their son-in-law. You see what I'm saying?
What, two of son-in-laws or just one?
Two.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
The second one called her, so then she slept with him too, and then went back to the first one and did it again with him.
Oh, good Lord. That's like a tragedy right there.
See what I'm saying, Jay Dunn? Oh, Jay Dunn. She muted.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
I had muted myself because I was letting.
I can't imagine somebody. You're 20. How do you know? Or the ball.
No, I ain't in my 30s. I'm in my 30s.
You in your 30s? You in your 30s, okay. But can you imagine? Okay, let's flip it now. Everybody, there's different age groups up on the thing. So I think Leilani is in the age group of the letter writer. All of a sudden, now at this age, Leilani, you decide that you're the kind of person who has a husband but would sleep with your daughter's husband. Can anybody in the chat, different areas, can you imagine at 47, because she says she's 47 and she's 7 months pregnant, so that, it's 46, 47. What happened to make you the kind of person who would sleep with your daughter's husband all of a sudden? You know what I'm saying? Chat, you can try.
That had to already be who she was. That's not new.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree with Leilani with what she said, because we've already established that she has 3 or 4 daughters who are professionals, and she's 47.
And she
already been slutting around.
And she's an attorney. She's a professional. So this is not.
But she's already been doing stuff. She's been doing stuff for a long time. So then you have to kind of question, okay, well, what was her upbringing?
Right. So my thing is that even in my indignation, I can go back and think. I still don't think she should. I still think that unless it is necessary, let me qualify. Unless it is medically necessary for people to know who the father of my child is, I don't think she should say anything to blow up her daughter's marriage. That being said, with the letter not taking any past context, if this is who she is, maybe her daughters already know. Because when we write a letter, you want advice, and we write a letter, we don't sit up there and make ourselves look bad. Especially if we did somebody bad. We ain't gonna make ourselves look no worse. She ain't gonna write the letter and say, well, I've been sleeping with their boyfriends the whole time. But I feel like that you just all of a sudden wake up and decide you want to sleep with your daughter's husband. I don't think that's right. I think that's something you do. I think that's somebody you are.
No, and I agree with that. And I think the thing that just makes it all the way wrong, well, the whole thing is wrong. But there had to have been a lapse of time between her sleeping with the first son-in-law before she slept with the second one. And it's just like...
No, she said he called him. He said something. She pleasured him too. And then they finished.
Let me reread that. Hold on. Let me.
Oh my God. So like you basically telling me she kind of just had a threesome with the son-in-law.
We're gonna train on it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
That yeah. Now I don't know if they planned it. I don't know if old boy was on his text messages while she was giving head. She sucking my dick. If you come to the door right now, you're gonna catch it. Just, but here's what it said. So I'm gonna read her words, not my words. Her words were: one night I was home alone. My oldest daughter's husband came over to pick up something for his wife, my daughter. You see how she said his wife, not my daughter? One thing led to another, and we had sex. We repeated our actions several more times. Close to our final time having sex. Close to our final time. The husband of my daughter that's living with me accidentally walked into my room and caught us. That was the most embarrassing moment of my life. Nevertheless, my son-in-law didn't tell his wife, and he said he didn't tell anyone else. However, he did approach me to discuss the incident. I am shameful of what happened next, but I ended up pleasuring him too.
Sound like make a great porn movie.
You know the old school porn,
right?
Old school porn movie? When somebody come to your door,
I agree.
you ain't got no money, but you come to the door in a negligee and some 13-inch heels. That's how Mama came to the door with them plastic heels on and that 1972 negligee. And then all of a sudden, the son-in-law came out the room. Now, here's the thing. You know how the more you read something, the more you like, what the fuck? Now, did she mean that they caught him and she finished? Because you know how you catch somebody some shit you ain't seen and you run out real quick?
She said, hold on. There ain't no fun game, no.
Now, she said they weren't supposed to be there. So why was he there by himself?
Well,
I feel like this letter is not told in the proper order. Because him just walking into the room without knocking, him being there and his wife wasn't there, and wasn't either one of them supposed to be there. The oldest daughter's husband coming over there to get something for his wife. I feel like the letter is all made to put her in as a flattering light as possible, but it's leaving out all the pertinent information we need to make some kind of intelligent, to give some kind of intelligent advice. You know what I'm saying? Because I got all worked up by the fact that no, don't blow up your kid's life because you a hoe. Don't have your kids questioning their entire upbringing because you a hoe. Don't have your grandkids questioning why you didn't love my mama and why you love my daddy too much. That was my initial thought. And then if y'all come in, y'all add y'all thoughts, and I can understand that everybody's going to be different. While I would not do it, and I wouldn't want to know. I don't want to know if you have sex with my mom. Keep that, Ken. I don't want to know because that is necrophilia, and that is a whole nother situation. Anyway,
that's the same thing for me too. Like, we in the same boat with that. With the mama thing, we in the same boat with that. So that's why it was hard for me to grasp the whole concept.
But as I talk to y'all, I can update my opinion. I would not want to know that. But Abe was talking about the health reasons. My thing is, in the health situation, you need to know the background. If you don't, if none of that comes up, then you don't need to know. If the need
but it's going to eventually have to come up.
Well, everybody don't need a kidney transplant, Rico. Everybody don't need a blood transfusion. There are people that go their whole life without never going into the hospital until they become old. You know what I'm saying? If in that particular situation, in a health situation, then yes, you got to bite the bullet because you have to think about the child you just brought into the world. Because my indignation is for the children. It is not for what the mama did or the husbands did. My indignation is for what their actions are going to do to the children and the grandchildren, which is why I said shut the fuck up. But if at some point the new baby needs to know who his daddy is, then you got to suck it up, bite the bullet, and suck it up, buttercup, put your big girl drawers on, and let's go.
So you don't really want to know what's going on between you and them?
What I'm gonna do with that information?
I mean, if it was your case, would you don't want to know if your spouse is messing with someone else or their father or the mother or anything like that?
I'll tell you, I've been cheated on, and that knowledge didn't help me at all.
I've been cheated on since I know.
I've been cheated on, and the knowledge did not help me at all. If I'm going to stay with the person, no. If I'm the kind of person that as soon as I hear what you tell me, whatever you tell me about my whatever you tell me about my significant other, I'm the kind of person that I'm the one and done kind of person. Because there are a lot of people out there. There are a lot of people out there that will forgive. There are a lot of one and done. If I'm a one and done kind of person, that if they cheated on me one time, I'm done. Sure, let me know.
Lisa, I'm curious to know what your sign is.
Pisces.
Okay. I'm a Virgo, and I think just me being a Virgo, I want to know about everything.
But we want to know. I love to learn. I love to know shit I don't know. But here's the question with this particular emotional knowledge. You're thinking about knowing stuff on a level that has nothing to do with your emotions. This emotional knowledge, what are you going to do with that information? You said if it was you, what did you say? Hold on. Something about vindictive and cheating. Okay. Now, have you ever had somebody ever cheated on you and you stayed with them?
To be honest, I never got cheated on.
Okay. So you still don't know. Ray, somebody ever cheated on you and you stayed with them?
Oh yeah. Well, I did, yeah. One time I did back when I was younger, my teenage years, yeah, I did.
Rico, somebody ever cheated on you and you stayed with them?
No.
Leilani. So what did the knowledge of them cheating on you do in that specific relationship?
Just confirmed what I already thought I knew.
So now you sitting up there and you know it. So now you question every single thing that person does or says. If you gonna stay, you don't need to know it. Because you're gonna make yourself miserable as you sit and stay with this person.
True. How about that?
You're going to be absolutely, positively miserable every time they don't answer the phone as soon as you think they should have. Every time they are 13 seconds late to the house. Every time you think they got one less dollar on their check. Every time a bitch bring them a drink at the restaurant.
I don't mean to laugh, but it sounds so true. I'm just I think about my years like that.
Person, now you know they cheat. I know. What you gonna do with that knowledge? Because it don't mean shit to them. Because if they cared about you knowing whether or not they cheated, they would have cheated in the first place. Because at the end of the day, there is nothing 100%, not birth control and not cheating. So if they really didn't care about you knowing, because there are very few foolproof ways to cheat on somebody. You got to take some kind of time that you don't normally take away from that person. You got to change some kind of habit that you don't normally do. So it's very hard to cheat and never know.
I think that the example that you're using is deeper than that, though, Lisa. That's what makes it a very complex situation, because you're not talking about somebody cheating on somebody. You're talking about somebody cheating with that person's parent.
Right.
I don't want to ever invite you to Thanksgiving again. You can't come for Easter. You can't come for Mother's Day. None of that. And I think that's why you need to know.
And that's why I said you don't. Because you can divorce your husband. You can move on with your romantic life. But the only thing you can do is mentally get rid of your mama. You can't get rid of your mama because every time you look in the mirror, you see her.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of your daddy because every time you look in the mirror, you see them. You can get rid of a spouse. I don't care how much you love that spouse. I don't care how much you love this person. You can get rid of them. You can make it up in your mind. I'm going to divorce this motherfucker. Fuck him and the horse he rode in on.
Yeah, sure.
And you can make up in your mind and move on. And at some point, you'll realize that it was good for you to do that.
Yeah, right. Exactly right.
You cannot divorce your mama.
No.
You cannot get rid of your mama.
Nope.
And don't have her eyes or her nose or her lips. Don't laugh like her. Don't act like her in any way. You absolutely positively can't get rid of her then, because every time you look in the mirror, every time somebody says you just like your mama, imagine that.
It's in the DNA, so you can't get rid of that.
Imagine if your mama just told you she had sex with your husband, and a couple of weeks later, you out trying to recover yourself, sipping your wine, laughing and joking with your friends, or not your friends, your cousins and them, and you do something, oh, you just like your mama.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
I look in the mirror. I used to didn't see a resemblance between me and my mom. I used to didn't. And then I started looking at pictures of her as she got older, and I'm looking at pictures of me. And while I may be light and have green eyes, there are certain things about my face when I smile, when I laugh, when I wear my glasses, I look exactly like my mama. So regardless of whatever she did, regardless of how much I put physical distance between me and her, there's nowhere I can go to get rid of the emotions. There's nowhere I can go to get rid of the face that she gave me.
Well, like I said, it's in the DNA. You can't get rid of that.
So, but like I said, that's my opinion. Don't tell the kids. I'm also from the old school, from back where women used to live on the same street, and the husband was the daddy to the kids at the end of the street, and you knew that, but then nobody know that.
Oh, no, that in my neighborhood I do.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about, Raylo?
Yeah, I know. It's my neighborhood the same way.
The 1940s and 30s and 50s and 60s daddies that everybody puts up to this high standard of families that work all day and then had 2 or 3 girlfriends held on the same block, 2 or 3 families held on the same block.
Oh yeah. Remember
and the only reason they knew is so the kids wouldn't have babies together.
Yep. Even they have the same.
I tell you, you can keep a lie alive.
I know that.
Especially when it got to do with your family. And we as people, we can ignore a lot.
Yep.
We as women, we as people, men and women can ignore a lot. I know that that's his child, but that's my husband. I'm the wife. Like you on some different ground than these other 2 women that got the same amount of family that you do.
Yeah. Really?
So that's why the first place I went, hey Riri, hold up the topic. Yup.
All right. Like in the Ray Charles movie, when the woman overdosed and died, and Ray's wife said, "What about her son?" She wasn't supposed to know there was a son. She knew there was a son. What about?
Yep. Ray said, so black people all of a sudden love to go to the doctor. Hell no, there's a difference. The doctor can't cure what they don't know about because we don't go to the doctor. Like, you're correct. Ouch. What happened? You can say stuff, baby. But that's where my particular thing came from. Because it's just some things you can't get rid of. You can get rid of. That's why I find it hard when people disown their kids because they're gay. How you disown something like you? How you disown something you made? You know what I'm saying? How you act like that ain't here no more? Because you don't like who they do it with. I don't want it to do with nobody else. Shit. I don't care about his sexuality. I don't never wanted to do it until he's 35. 45.
Oh, Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa, I'm happy you mentioned that because about 2 weeks ago, I was going through y'all videos and I saw that viral video that y'all had with the damn banana. That mess was funny to me. I didn't even know y'all had that up here.
Yes. First of all, they wrong for that shit because they knew I was not gonna act right like somebody normal. Because I was trying to figure out how to say it without saying it. And Nick was serious. He's like, "You won't go down." I'm like, and when I said, I know, baby was like, "Did she just?" Because I said, "Well, did you try to make it go down?"
The way you tiptoed around that, it was so funny. So the fact of what you just said right now, I believe you. Because you tiptoed all around trying to get through that situation. Because you didn't know what to do.
Here's the thing, he was 13 at the time. See, now I talk to him a little differently. Because we were talking the other day. I ain't gonna tell you what we said. We were talking, and I find myself talking to him a little differently. I know that at some point he's going to be sexually active at some point. In my brain, here's the thing. That kind of goes into what you were saying about what I want to know and what I really know. You know what I'm saying? Aesthetically, I know at some point my only birthed out child is going to have sex with somebody else. Well, not somebody else. That didn't sound right. With somebody. I don't want to really know.
It's like you don't want to know. You don't want to know your parents had sex either. You don't want to know that.
I don't want to know none of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Baby, I don't want you to come. Look here. If I got to deal with it because some girl show up at the house with some little peanut hair boy look like my son, then that's different. But I don't ever want to know, even after I see my grandchildren walk in the house with his wife, that he had sex with her.
Well, you know where it came from.
Well, shut up. Mama, and I don't want to damn know. See, that's the thing. If you're going, see, that's the thing. I know
the stork.
Damn. The birds and the bees got together and made a hive and flew his ass into the house. I don't care how you did. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to realistically know my parents had sex, okay?
No, nobody want to know.
Let's think about it.
I don't think I want to know.
I don't want to know at all. No.
So when you with somebody,
you don't want to know your own child have sex with someone else. No.
Hell no.
Yeah, no, you don't want to know.
And you want to be mad, I want to be mad with every little girl he brings to the house. I want to find something wrong with her. And I want her to be ugly. I want to bring one ugly girl to the house so he can understand how that's a bad decision. But then, I know beauty is an eye of the beholder also. So,
yeah, I see some.
So I know that I know beauty's an eye of the beholder. So what I don't like, I'm not a teenage boy. I'm not supposed to like it. Like, yeah. But that's why I said if DC starts changing her pattern and starts doing something that would make me think she's cheating, I don't know if I would want to know, especially if I'm not going to leave her for that. I would, however, I would tell you this: if I was getting those inklings, I would let her know I was getting those inklings and let her know what she's doing to cause those inklings so she can cease and desist. Now, after I have done all that, and you have chosen to still continue to do what you were doing to make me say what I just said, then I become a one and doneer. If I know, don't sit up there and tell me that I'm correct. Because in the end, I'm going to go back and start thinking about what that I could have changed about myself or our situation And what did I do to make my wife go cheat on me? That's just who I am. I'm sorry. Like I said at the beginning, these are my opinions. And my opinions might not be right, but they just have to be mine. Don't come here telling me about I didn't, or don't come here telling me I had sex, but it didn't mean anything. Because that's worse. You're going to blow up our relationship over something that didn't mean nothing?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have sex with somebody, but she didn't mean anything to me. I love you.
Yeah, sure.
Did you hear what the hell you just said to me?
Mm-hmm.
So if you start doing things that will make me think you stepping out, I'm going to let you know, hey, I see the change. I feel like you're doing something. And if you don't heed my warning, because that's the warning. You ain't got to come out and say, yeah, I did it. No, because then that's the one and done. That's when the one and done come in. I'm going to give you an opportunity to save this relationship. Because people say that I'm a little quick to get the fuck on. Now I am. I used to didn't be. What did you do or didn't do? What I do, yeah. So you keep, I don't want to know that if I'm going to stay, because then now, if I know for sure, then now I'm going to question our entire relationship from the beginning. I'm not just going to question this section of our relationship. I'm going to question the whole thing. And if I'm going to stay, I don't want to know. Because I can't, because me knowing can't undo what you did. Me knowing can't take the stuff off. Me knowing can't change it. Me knowing can't do none of that. And if I'm going to stay with you, then I don't need to know, but I'm going to let you know I know so that you can fix it. Now, if you don't fix it and continue, they still don't want to know, because I'm going to then tell you, you know what? I feel like you don't want to be in this relationship no more, so I'm going to take the option out of your hands. Because I'm too old to sit up there and go, oh, why is she? Okay. I didn't mess around, gave myself a heart attack. I ain't going to do that. I got many years to live.
Mm-hmm.
So they kill myself crying over no back.
Now,
when I was young, I did.
Yeah. I think when we were younger, we all did, we just getting used to our feelings and our emotions and whatnot. As we get older, it's like we don't give a damn anymore. Like, damn you do, damn you don't.
Well, you know what the killer part about it, the really bad part about it is, I believe that falling in love with the right person has made me the way I am. Because I spent so much time with the wrong people and giving them chance after chance after option after chance after, okay, but I'm still here. I love you. And I know you don't love me as much as I love you, and da-da-da-da-da. I've done all that. I think that being loved by the right person and being loved correctly I think that DC created the monster that wasn't there before, because she does love me right, because she does love me in the way somebody's supposed to love you when they say, I love you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that she created the monster of, I ain't about to sit up here and argue with you. I'm good. Because if I know you can love me, you taught me that I can be loved. You understand what I'm saying? It just takes someone to teach you that you can be loved correctly for you to understand that you ain't got to sit there and take it from even them. But see, that's another thing. That leads me back to our initial thing. You with this man who, all your estimation, because you married him, has loved you the way you're supposed to be loved and treated you the way you're supposed to be treated, but he didn't sleep with your mama. Imagine. How do you reconcile that? What do you say? What do you feel? Can you imagine being the kid that hears that?
Mm-hmm.
And when you find out something your mom has done, it don't matter if you're 90 years old, you still feel like a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I was 37 years old when I got pregnant with Nick, and I was hiding from my mama like I was 14. Now what? my grandmama like I was 14 years old, like I was still in grade school or middle school or whatever hell school it is now, and that I was still have my little Catholic school jumper on. It was not like I was a whole grown ass woman who had lived at home in about 13 years. I'm still a kid.
Always
Well,
gonna be.
when you say that, Lisa, I think that is more so of the respect aspect. So even in the context of this live, I think if anything, the biggest hurt being in a situation like this that we're discussing would be that your mother didn't respect you enough or your father didn't respect you enough in order to not do what they did. Because I've never been pregnant and had to hide from somebody, but I promise you, if I saw my auntie or my uncle or somebody coming up the road and I had a cigarette, let me put this mess out. I had a bib in my hand. Let me pour this mess out. I ain't got this beer now.
Yep.
But it's because you respect them. So if you find yourself in this type of situation, the hurt would mostly be that your parent didn't respect you as much as you respect them.
Yep. I mean, but how close were you and your mom?
Oh, me and my mom were very close. I'm an only child, so it was just
okay. Even though I'm not an only child, I was raised like one. Can you imagine your mama not even telling you that? Telling you something that calls your entire relationship with her into question. Not her having sex with somebody, because that's like, I don't even know what the fuck that is. That's like, I don't know what that is. That's ridiculous. But can you imagine your mama telling you something that calls your entire relationship into question?
Mm-hmm.
What it would do?
Yeah, no, I don't think that I could imagine having that type of thing happen to me. But weirdly enough, the things that my mom was able to reveal to me that might have made me upset, I was always upset with the other person.
Okay.
Yeah, like for instance, case in point, I wouldn't have been an only child because my mother actually was pregnant prior to me, like years before I even came to existence.
Mm-hmm.
And she miscarried. And I didn't find out about that until much later. But she miscarried because she was in an abusive relationship with her ex-husband at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So even when she told me that, about that, I felt the type of way because I was like, dang, I could have had a brother or a sister. I could have had one. But at the same time, I was more mad with her ex-husband than anything. Right. And I was mad with him until he died. Now he's dead and gone now. Like I was mad about. Huh?
I said I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like what I was saying, it's about the respect. As kids, no matter how old we get, we have a respect for our elders that we upheld. Because that's the thing. Why would I be quick to put the cigarette out, but then walk up in their house smelling like a pack of cigarettes? Like, I mean,
because it's the perception that you're giving. It's one thing to smell like a pack of cigarettes. Hell, you could have said I was with somebody who was smoking. So if they ask, you know what I'm saying? Your mama, your cousin, and man, you say, "Hey, I was hanging out with so and so," because they smoke. But
right,
yeah. My mama know you smoke. My mama knew I smoked. I was smoking when I was in high school. She knew. She ain't know. You know what I'm saying? It was a perception. I didn't do it in front of her until I became an adult. And I mean, I was an adult. By the time I smoked in front of my mom. I never smoked in front of my grandmother. By the time I smoked in front of my mom, I was in my 20s.
Yeah, I know. I never smoked in front of my father. I just smoked in front of my mother, but not my father. Because my father didn't have to look at me,
It's like I never do nothing in front of my grandma. I didn't even drink. Now I done came home drunk as Cooter Brown. Trying to sober up my grandma at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I did that. But I have never drank in front of her. I never even had a glass of wine in front of my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
I never smoked in front of her. I mean, she knew, but she ain't know I was pregnant with Nick, so she knew I had sex, but I ain't never talked about sex in front of my grandma. But I'm gonna tell you this: the reality is there are a lot of things I wish my grandmother would have talked about with me that she didn't. Which is why I talk about a lot of stuff with Nick that's not just the normal birds, bees, and whatever else you tell them. Because there's a lot of stuff I wish my mom had said growing up that would have helped me. Because we always tell our kids not to have sex until they're married. The reality is, and we never tell them why. I wish my mom had told me that it's not just the physical act, but the emotions that mess us up. And that's another thing. There are so many levels and layers to this letter that it's the out of context, it's the disrespect, it's the actual act of sex has its own emotions that we are hard to reconcile as adults. Now imagine topping that off with cheating and then topping the cheating off with it's your mama that they cheating with. It's just so much. This particular situation, I hope, is a rare one because there's so many different levels and there's so much that can happen. I mean, she can't see her grandkids anymore. She loses her husband. Now she got this baby, but it's her daughter's husband's child. The child stayed with the husband. So now you got to take care of your brother and your stepchild. It's just so much that this one little letter, this one little paragraph, imagine it. In my head, I'm seeing it blowing up, and I'm seeing the only one that can stop that particular atomic bomb is the mama. Now, like Asia said, there are medical reasons if things happen that you need to know the history. And if that were to happen, then yes, then at that point, you got to blow some stuff up. But I can't, the ramifications going forward, I can't imagine the future for this family. Either way. Because imagine keeping a secret like that. Imagine holding on to that secret. This is my daughter's husband's child. I slept with my daughter's husband's two of them. I got pregnant by them. Now imagine all that coming out, and she says she's an attorney. A lot of businesses nowadays, especially businesses like law firms and law offices, have morality clauses. Now imagine that getting out, and your job finding out you slept with not one, but two of your daughter's husbands, and that's who the father of your baby is. I mean, come on. Sex came. I have not in my whole life had any sex that good with nobody. I have not had any kind of sex with anybody in my life good enough to do what this particular act on these particular days is going to do to this lady or has done. Because I think this is old. It looks like it's a few years old.
Rico, you shrinking, you just ahead.
I swear he is.
All that food he got in there.
Hey, Rico, is your hair blue?
I mean, I might be about to lead the topic. I might be about to lead the topic into a little bit more controversial waters. But if I was that lady and I knew that this could have all these consequences, then why doesn't she go and get an abortion?
Well, she's 7 months pregnant.
She should already.
It's a moot point now. That's.
What did she?
I'm off choice.
I guess that's. Well, my thing is, she had to have known before she was 7 months pregnant. So it took 7 months of her not getting
Yeah,
a
she
cycle
knew
for her to
She
realize.
knew it 1 month. She
She
found
knew
out in
it
1
1
month.
month.
That's why I said she could have thrown herself down the stairs.
So at that point, she should have went.
I wouldn't have left that doctor's office still knocked up. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm 47. This is not my husband's child because he had a vasectomy. And I had sex with both of my daughter's husbands. Ain't nothing in that scenario. There's no part of that statement that said I should have this baby. I am
Now
47.
that I agree with.
I'm
She
Lisa,
should
we
have fell
totally
down
agree
every
on
flight of
something.
stairs. She missed all the way home. Just kept on falling downstairs all the way home.
You stupid as hell. I'm not gonna commit suicide. See, here's where choice comes into play. Here's where it's not about you being pro anything. It's about I don't have the right to tell you what to do with your body. That's all that's about. And at that point, I don't care what your moral stand is the day before that. But if you're sitting in, if you are Leilani, you are sitting in the doctor's office, pregnant by Shaylin's husband, and you only a month pregnant. How much pregnant you gonna be when you leave there?
None.
Now, I understand if you have a certain thing in your head and you have morals and you say I can't have an abortion, but at some point, what the implications of what you're about to do has got to supersede any kind of morality you have, because clearly you're not moral. You had sex with your I can't even say it. Clearly your moral compass points to hell. So it wasn't because you were so morally upright and Bible thumping, because you committed adultery. And then I don't know what the other sins called. It's gotta be some kind of word for having sex with your daughter's husband. I don't know what that is. I haven't figured that one out.
I'm still gonna call it incest. You didn't birth it, but that's still your son.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Leilani. I was thinking
And
the
then they
same
also
thing. I
say,
think it was still
you sleep with somebody, you sleep with everybody that they done slept with. So you sleeping with your daughter too. It's gross. It's just nasty.
You don't have to bring that in there. It's nasty. It's nasty. That's bad enough. See, that's another thing. Then you wanna, when you say I want to know who you cheated with, I want to know you cheated. No, I don't want to know how many people I done slept with today. No, I'm good. But I mean, yes, Jay, that's you were wading into logical waters. Abortion is not birth control. It is not a punishment to keep people from having sex. It is an option for some people when you have nothing else. You are a child who's been raped. You are an incest survivor. Your health, your actual life depends on it. The life and the mental well-being of your existing children and your entire family on three sides, because you got to deal with not only your family, but you got to deal with the folks on them two husbands.
Mm-hmm.
So you are selfish enough that you've had sex with their husbands. Now, to top this cake, to put like 3 feet of frosting on this dry ass cake, you're gonna stay pregnant by you don't know who. But you know it's one of your daughter's husbands. So that's what you're gonna say out your mouth.
Yeah.
But instead of you just sucking it up and holding on to that shit and going down to the clinic and not bringing a child into this, hear what I'm saying. You are bringing a child into disarray. You are bringing a child. You might as well bring the therapist into the damn delivery room.
Mm-hmm.
Let's forget about the grown folks. Let's forget about the grown folks in this entire scenario. Let's chuck all of them out to the side because they grown and they live their life. You are now bringing a new life into chaos and disarray. You are bringing a new life into hatred. Because please tell me that you think them girls are going to like their new sibling. Please
Give
tell
it
me
to your grandson, son.
that they not going to look at their new brother or sister with disdain and disgust about something that had absolutely no control over.
Not only that, but to bring new life in chaos and in disarray during a pandemic.
I think
I
this is
know I keep stretching this out.
Story is pre-pandemic. It's an
Yeah, I
old
think
story.
this is an old.
Oh, okay. That's why I was asking the date of it. Because I'm like, this ain't happening right now, is it?
No. But even so, even in the pandemic, people are still doing the same shit they did before the pandemic. It is people out there right now willing to risk their life because at the end of the day, during the pandemic, that's what you're doing. So they can go get a beer at the bar. Hell, I've been to a restaurant. I sat outside, and Lisa don't sit outside. Unless I'm at the barbecue. I won't go to no restaurant. I'm going to talk about, I would like a table outside on the patio. I don't want that. I can eat outside at my house for free. I need the building that I'm paying for. I need the building, the air conditioner, piped in music. I need all that. But there are people. I mean, the pandemic ain't slowing no rolls. It's just it's just making you roll different. But nah, I just all I can think about.
You should him in the head. That's what you do. Asia said on Google, it says, I secretly saw my husband sleeping with my daughter. What should I do? Shoot him.
What? How the hell you secretly saw that? Clearly, I am completely different than everybody in the whole wide world. Because I'm snatching bitches out the bed.
That's incest.
Yeah, is that incest? Is that her dad? Is that
yeah, I know. That's like incest.
Adults? How you feeling?
I'm just laughing because like Lonnie just said shoot him. Like that, like it's funny because when I used to first come over here, like Lonnie used to be quiet. She'll be on the camera, but she'll just be quiet. But I'm getting to know her personality more and more. And she just like shoot him. That's just it.
Well, I mean, okay.
I'm quiet, but don't. It does not. I'm nice.
It's true. I'm looking at it like this. I'm looking at because when you first said, all I was thinking was, is this your dad? Is this our dad and that baby? And how the hell you secretly?
Upon me opening the door and seeing that there's no secrets in it because you're gonna hear a big boom.
Now,
if I ain't got nothing that's gonna make a big boom, I'm gonna get something that's gonna stab him. He's living.
And the only secret is where I buried the body at. The secret is how I got rid of the body.
I'm not even gonna worry about burying the body because when you show up and be like, "Man was in there raping my dog."
Yeah, see, that's what I understand. That's some fuck context because I'm gonna need to know you ain't secretly so. So I'm thinking that if the story goes on with this particular situation, this is an adult child and a step. We gonna go to this is an adult child and a stepfather situation because I'm not gonna go no other way with that because ain't no secret if I got somebody in the bed with my child. I don't give a damn.
This is my child. We got no.
I don't give a damn who it is. If I find anybody in the bed with my child, I'm sure you better be paid up on your insurance. If you Catholic, you need to go and do that little sign of the cross and call for Lord and the priest or somebody.
These are grown people, and you secretly, so you
It's
were
still
they in,
ain't no secret.
were they in your bed? I still don't see how it's a secret. It's your house, your bed, or did you secretly go to your daughter's house and you had a key? Like, how is this a secret? Like, it's not. No, that's not a secret. No.
If that's my grown ass daughter, my sorry ass husband, both of you motherfuckers ain't got nowhere to live. Nigga. They ain't got time for no grown folks in there. And if it's my child, then you just decided you wanted to die. I think some people commit suicide by stupid. Because I catch you in the bed with my baby. Clearly, you don't want to live no more. So, no. Nasty asses. Hold on. Amy got some. Hold on. Let me see what that say. Let me Google that. Let me see what this. Maybe it's a letter. Hold on.
Hey, heart attack. Hey, Phyllis.
Hold on. Let's see. My husband. Now, I put my husband in here, and the first thing pops up is my husband hates me. So, is sleeping with. Oh, that's a second.
Hey, heart attack. What's going on?
Okay, my husband's sleeping with my daughter. Let me see what this says.
Yes, 17. Yeah, he's dying. 17's not grown.
17. 3 years ago, I lost the man I loved most in the world. We married 23 years. He passed away. However, he left me a precious gift. My daughter, Whitney, she's the closest person to me. Earlier this year, I met the most amazing and loving man. He asked me out a couple of times. We dated. The man is extremely wealthy, quite powerful. At the same time, a few months later, he proposed. I agreed. We got married at the end of the year. I was happy, and I moved in. My daughter and I moved into his mansion, and it felt like the best moments in my life. Whitney was already done with high school, and thus she was home waiting to go to campus. Her stepfather took her to driving classes after buying her a car. She was very happy since he treated her like a princess. She was given everything she asked for. They were close. After a few months of living with him, I started to notice a queer relationship between my husband and my daughter. We gave each other strange glances during dinner, very long hugs before bed. At first, I just assumed it was a normal father-daughter relationship, but later it was more. I came home one day to find my husband touching my daughter in a very romantic way. To say that I was shocked was an understatement. My daughter did not resist. In fact, she was laughing in a manner that suggested she enjoyed it. I tried to confront my husband and my daughter. They didn't care. Instead, my husband threatened that if he said anything, he would take my daughter away and never see her again. But this ain't no secret. My heart is broken. They sleep. They both sleep in the same room, and there's nothing I can do about it.
What? Wow. That's good.
You watch that progress and turn into what it turned into.
No.
You did. No.
No.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me see this one. Because this one says, I found my husband and our 19-year-old having sex. This is a question somebody sent it somewhere. I found my husband and our 19-year-old having sex. What should I do? Somebody said their advice was tase him. Get your 19-year-old out of the room.
Oh, wow.
And tell, okay, this was the advice. Tase him. Get your 19-year-old out of the room and covered up. Tell him or her that you'll be right back. Call the police. Then go back. Kick your husband in the balls as many times as you can. Have the police arrest him upon arrival. Take the 19-year-old out of the house immediately and begin the long, arduous process of helping your child recover from incest.
Well, if she's 19, it's not. No.
Never. They didn't start that.
Oh.
They didn't start at 19. Never stop protecting your guiding child, because if you do, some other creepy pervert will be right there to opportunistically prey on your child because of what your husband did. Yeah, see, yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
Well, I just don't. And the reason why I had to laugh at that first one that you read, I don't get how people be having these minor kids and be like, there is absolutely nothing I can do. The person is writing in saying that her 17-year-old is sleeping with the husband and there's nothing she could do. I could think of a lot of things. Leilani said to kill him, which I mean, that's an option.
That's
But
viable.
I mean, put one of them out. Send somebody away. You could do a lot to prevent that, I think.
But money is more important to the mama than the
Yeah, apparently she liked the mansion and the stuff. That's what she
money's more
was
important.
for. It was about the mansion and stuff. She just watched all other stuff happen. She saw that, and she's like, they had kind of an interesting relationship. I thought it was weird, but I just ignored it. And then it got worse and worse, and I just kept on ignoring it. Well, yeah, okay. Why you writing now?
Yeah, the money's more important. In situations like that, when you hear stuff like that, the money's more important than the situation. What am I gonna do? He does all this for the child. What am I gonna do? He said, if you say anything, I'm gonna take her away from you. He can't take her away from you. That's not his kid.
Correct. That was the thing that I was thinking about too.
You got access to the money. I'm not trying to be funny. First of all, I'd be a snap, so I ain't got no talking or nothing. I'd be fucked up both of them. I would have. That being said, however, I don't also, but see, before this, I found out that when you're financially that different from somebody, there's a reason that they mess with you. Hey, Big Two. There's a reason when that financial disparity is that big. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's wealthy to the point you scared of him and you ain't got nothing. How often does pretty woman happen in real life?
Only in the movies.
So there's a reason. And it's not just a man thing, and women do it too. I get somebody I can control. You know what I'm saying? Money, use money as a control factor. So now he sees I got somebody I can control with money. Yay. And now he sees somebody whose money is more important than my kid. Because even if my kid is mad with me because she thinks she's in love with this old pervert that I'm married to, I still would tell everybody so that the world know what kind of person this is. And then I would divorce him and make sure I take as much as I can so he'll understand the error of his way.
Suck him dry.
And then once that got my hands wrapped out of my daughter's hair, because I smashed her ass and drag her everywhere I go. And if she want to go, don't come back. It's not me putting you out. It's not me disowning you. I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to be there. But don't come knocking on my door because you ain't grown no more. Everybody grown at 16, 17, 18, and 19 to them grown-up bills and that grown-up life start hitting your ass in the eye. Don't come back knocking on my door when you ain't 17 no more and he don't want you. Because you ain't young no more. Mm-hmm. And you thought this man was more important in your relationship with me. And on that particular situation, what do? Bugs taco? Yes. Eat that. Cool. That's what you do.
That was for Asia.
That's what you do. But I don't know. All this shit with kids is blowing me. It's too many. It's blowing me. All this shit with kids is blowing me.
DC KOOLAID and Lisa, Leilani, Rico, and Ray. I'm gonna get off of here. I gotta return a phone call, but it was good talking to y'all for a little bit.
Thank you for hanging out.
All right, take care.
Shoot, I've been on here almost over 2.5 hours. I need to get off here too. I need to order something to eat for everybody to be like, bitch, you know it's closed. You know we closed. You know we closed. Why is you calling us? You know we closed. Yeah, but I mean that the whole I need to get out the thing with kids because my thing is too many other people in the world that you ain't related to. If you want to hurt somebody, hurt them. I'm not advocating hurt because that's what it sounds like I just said. But what I'm saying is that in reality, we have a few people in the world that really care about us. I mean, for really care about us. Our kids are one of them. There's so many more people in the world. If you're just the kind of person that want to hurt somebody's feelings, that you can pick on. You ain't got to pick on my kids. You ain't got to pick on your kids or anybody's kids for that matter. It's so many grown people out there in the world. Let kids be kids. You don't understand what you take away from a child when you make them be grown before they time. You don't understand what you take away from an adult child when you show them that you have no intention of protecting them at all from the real world for as long as you can. Because as a parent, the reality is up until you can't do it no more, and even after that, you still try. It is your job to protect your kids from the real world and the stuff they don't have to go through. It is not, however, your job to add on to that. Stop messing with the kids. Stop messing with the kids. Stop. It's just, I don't know. From the I'm pregnant by my son-in-law to the what I'm going to do because my daughter having sex with my husband to the I caught my husband having sex with our child. That's just too much. That's too much. That's way, way, way too much. There are so many implications and there's so much that people, I mean, come on now. I understand that you don't have to give great thought into cheating on somebody and everything. But when it comes to things with kids and family members and people you love, you gotta at some point start thinking of the repercussions of your actions and understand that it doesn't just stay with you and that person. It goes out to everybody. It goes out to how your daughters allow men to treat them because of what you taught them. It goes out to how sons treat the women in their life because of what they saw you do. It goes out to family members that even though you related, don't care how much they hurt your part of the family. It is not just I had sex with somebody else. It is not just I cheated on my husband. It's not just my daughter's husband cheated on her. It is a convoluted tornado of mess that lasts forever. You are the talk of everything. Every family meeting, every family reunion, every time somebody gets to talking about dumb shit somebody do, your name gonna pop up. And it's gonna remind the person that you hurt each and every time what you decided that was necessary to do is brought up. Every time these kids look in the mirror, they're gonna be looking at you. They can't get away from their mom, no matter how hard they try. You gotta be more careful. You got to be more careful. It is not necessary to hurt somebody. Trust me when I tell you guys, the world, all the people in the world out there, life does not care. It'll hurt you all on its own. Life will throw scenarios and people in your way to give you lessons and to show you which way to go. Sometimes it's a good lesson, sometimes it's a bad. But the people, your family, your friends, the people you love, should not add to that. But we do too many times. I shouldn't have to do a live about I'm pregnant by my son-in-law because that shouldn't even be a thing. I shouldn't have to Google I caught my daughter with my husband and a husband pop up and a daddy pop up. On that note, I am going to end this live. We have been on here for almost 2 hours and 40 minutes, and we have talked about some craziness. I have said some things, and I admit them. And as I've spoken, like I said, an opinion is something that you form, and that means it forms constantly. So some things I understand from another standpoint. Some things I ain't gonna change. Asia, I understand from the medical point of view that you need to know who your daddy is, but until you need to know, shut the hell up. Do not blow up your kids' lives because you ain't got sense enough to say no to somebody.
I don't know.
So I just, but if you don't do it, something going on.
I said it's over.
Okay.
I said it was over. Hell, I did. But yeah, I shouldn't be able to Google. I shouldn't be able to Google that and get so many options. You know what I'm saying? Rico, did you tell me whether or not your hair was blue?
Just his
No,
brain.
that's just my green screen.
Oh, my bad.
His hair is gray. It's the gray. The gray looks blue.
Oh, it's over here looking blue. Does it look blue or is it just me? It might just be me. When it looked blue in the light, I thought it was pretty blue. I was like, I like that blue. I was going to ask him where you put that from.
I think it's time to wrap it up.
Time to go. It's time. Get off TV. I'm about to go. So I want to thank my wonderful co-host, my lovely sister from another Mr. Leilani's Kitchen. My two brothers from another mother, Mr. Raylo and Mr. Rico. I want you to make sure you check out their channels. If you already haven't checked them out, make sure you hit them down in the comments below. Put something in the comments, Raylo, because Rico is there, Leilani's there. Put something in the comments so that people can click on your channel. If you ain't already in their channels, get in their channels. This is part of the family. Bomb Squad, this is life. I want to thank my mods for making sure that no shit go down. Thank you, Asia, for your input. I really appreciate it. Give me something else to think about. Stay away from your children, spouses, people. It's nasty. It's nasty. All it is nasty. Make sure if you're watching this in the replay, you hit that like button. If you already haven't hit it for me, hit it now for me, please. Comment down below what you think, what you don't think. Comment with us. Share this video because maybe you know somebody need to hear something we said. You know what I mean? So like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that every time we go live or drop a video, you guys can join us. Thank you, co-hosts. Thank you, mods. I love you, Bomb Squad. Thank you guys so much. And we out. Peace.
Peace in the Middle East with chicken grease.
Bye, y'all.